Welcome to Slab City, often called the last free place in America. Here, residents live off the grid, without electricity, running water, or government oversight, creating a lifestyle many see as the ultimate expression of freedom. However, beneath the creativity and independence lies a harsh reality: environmental risks, poor sanitation, and a constant struggle for survival. Is the price of freedom really worth it? Join us as we explore the challenges and the spirit of those who call Slab City home, only on Eagle Discovery. The origins of Slab City. Let's journey back to the 1940s, amid the turmoil of World War II, when the U.S. government constructed Camp Dunlap in the arid deserts of California. This artillery training base saw soldiers from across the nation, honing skills meant for far-off battles. Yet, when the war concluded, the base no longer served a purpose. By 1956, the military vacated the site, dismantling much of the infrastructure, leaving behind only a barren landscape of concrete slabs, echoes of a bygone time. For decades, the area appeared destined to be forgotten, simply another abandoned site lost in the vast desert. However, in the 1960s and 70s, amidst the societal changes spurred by the Vietnam War and a growing disillusionment with mainstream values, a different kind of community began to form. Seeking refuge from societal constraints, people, artists, rebels, and those in search of independence began settling on these remnants. They pitched tents, parked trailers, and gradually established a new life on the very slabs that had once supported military operations. This was the beginning of Slab City, a place free from rent, rules, and the conventional systems of control. Hey there, where are you from? I want to know which city you're watching our video from. Please leave a comment so we don't feel lonely. A small action like this will motivate us to make more videos. Thank you and much love to you. Originally a sanctuary for those looking to live beyond society's boundaries, it evolved into an alternative lifestyle for nomadic artists, war veterans, and other societal outcasts. It became a haven where freedom was paramount and independence was prized above all. Over time, Slab City transformed into a symbol of resilience, self-reliance, and rebellion, a community that defied traditional societal structures. Life in Slab City, a fragile freedom. Slab City, often dubbed the last free place in America, offers an escape from the societal constraints that bind most of us. Nestled in the desert near the Salton Sea in California, it's a sprawling community that thrives without government oversight, rules, or formal structures. For many, it's an idealized sanctuary of total freedom, a place where you can live life on your own terms. But life here is far from idyllic. While the absence of laws and regulations may sound liberating, it's a double-edged sword. The lack of a governing authority means that basic services like trash collection, medical care, and even law enforcement are nearly non-existent. With no electricity, running water, or regular infrastructure, residents must rely on their ingenuity and resourcefulness to survive in one of the harshest environments imaginable. All right! If you're new to this channel, Eagle Discovery warmly welcomes you. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button and remember to turn on the notification bell to catch our upcoming content. In Slab City, survival becomes a delicate balance between independence and vulnerability. You can set up your own camp, build a home from salvaged materials, and live off the land. But the freedom to do so also means that you're exposed to the elements, to the threat of violence, and to the uncertainty of daily life. There's no safety net, no backup plan, and no guarantees. For some, this raw freedom is a source of empowerment, but for others, it's a constant struggle to stay afloat. The residents here come from all walks of life: drifters, artists, retirees, and those escaping from traditional societal norms. Each person has a unique story, but all share a common bond: the pursuit of freedom, albeit at a high price. Some find solace in the solitude and independence. Others, however, face mental health challenges and isolation, with limited access to professional support. Join us as we dive deeper into the lives of those who call Slab City home, exploring how they navigate this free-spirited, yet challenging existence. How do they find community in such a disparate place? How do they cope with the realities of living without conventional resources? The price of freedom here is measured not just in dollars, but in survival, self-reliance, and resilience. In this place, the cost of freedom is steep, but for many, it's the price they're willing to pay. Living conditions and environment. Slab City, often regarded as the last free place in America, is a haven for those seeking to escape the limitations imposed by modern society. Nestled in the barren deserts of Southern California, this off-grid enclave thrives on independence and resourcefulness. Life here is defined by its lack of basic utilities, no electricity, no running water, and no sanitation services. Despite these hardships, the community has grown into a vibrant, though unconventional refuge for those who wish to live beyond the constraints of conventional life. The homes here are crafted from salvaged materials, old vehicles, and whatever residents can repurpose, resulting in a striking fusion of art, survival, and ingenuity. The walls of these makeshift shelters are often covered in graffiti, reflecting not only artistic expression, but also the deeper narratives of resilience, struggle, and the human drive to build a home from little. Life in Slab City is shaped by the harsh desert environment, with temperatures often exceeding 110 degrees Fahrenheit, 43 degrees Celsius during the summer. The heat is relentless, and shade is a rare luxury. The vast open desert offers few natural refuges from the searing sun, making water an especially valuable resource. Residents often make arduous journeys to nearby towns to fetch water, hauling just a few gallons at a time, which they carefully ration for cooking, drinking, and bathing. The challenge of managing such a limited resource highlights the stark reality of survival in this extreme environment. Every drop of water becomes precious, and recycling it as much as possible becomes a necessary practice. Without the conveniences of modern technology, the residents of Slab City have developed remarkable resourcefulness. Many rely on solar power, repurposing old solar panels to generate electricity for basic needs like lighting, small appliances, and charging electronic devices. Additionally, rainwater is collected in homemade cisterns to supplement the water supply, further minimizing dependence on distant sources. Still, life here remains far from easy. The absence of refrigeration, air conditioning, and other modern comforts means that people must adapt in ways that most others could not imagine. As night falls, the desert landscape changes dramatically. The darkness is profound, broken only by the dim glow of candles or small solar-powered lights. With no streetlights, the community takes on an almost surreal atmosphere at night. Activities like cooking, laundry, and bathing require careful planning to manage resources efficiently. The drop in temperature after sundown adds another layer of difficulty to daily life. One of the greatest challenges faced by those living in Slab City is the absence of law enforcement and formal governance. There are no police, no courts, and no legal system to rely on. This forces residents to look after their own safety and maintain order among themselves. Without a safety net, individuals must navigate the complex social dynamics of the community, which can be both liberating and risky. Linda, a longtime resident, shares her unease. I hear strange noises around my camp at night. I keep a stick by my bed, just in case someone tries to break in. There's no one to call if something goes wrong. The lack of law enforcement contributes to an environment where theft, violence, and personal disputes can escalate without intervention. Medical emergencies are especially challenging. John, an elderly resident, recounts a frightening ordeal. When I was bitten by a snake, I had to drive 31 miles to the nearest hospital. If I had waited any longer, I wouldn't have made it. In a place where even basic health care is hard to access, survival often depends on quick thinking, sheer will, and the support of the community. Despite the hardships, Slab City fosters a strong sense of community. Residents, often referred to as outsiders or misfits, form tight-knit relationships, sharing resources and offering support during difficult times. Many work together to create a sense of home in a place that would seem inhospitable to most. Practical skills like solar power installation, rainwater harvesting, and mutual aid are essential to survival. And residents take pride in these abilities as a way to assert control over their lives in a world that seems to have forgotten them. So, what draws people to Slab City despite the many challenges? For some, it's the allure of total freedom, a life unshackled from the rules and expectations of society. For others, it's the search for a sense of belonging, or a space where they can live according to their values, even if it means sacrificing the comforts most take for granted. Slab City is not a utopia, nor is it a place for the faint-hearted. But for those who call it home, it offers a way of life that is unique, raw, and unfiltered. A life where freedom is a daily fight for survival, autonomy, and a sense of belonging in a world that often overlooks those living on its margins. The myth of everything is free. When people first hear about Slab City, it's tempting to view it as an idyllic haven. No rent, no rules, and everything free. But is it really a paradise? Or does the price of freedom come at a cost that's not immediately apparent? While there may be no rent to pay and no taxes to worry about, the idea of everything free fades quickly once the realities of desert survival set in. Living in Slab City demands far more than simple independence. It takes relentless creativity, bartering skills, and an unspoken reliance on the community around you. With no grocery stores, utilities, or public services, residents have to make do with what they can find. They scavenge scrap metal, wood, and old vehicles, using whatever they can to build homes and sustain their lives in a place where nothing is permanent. Recycling is not just an environmentally conscious choice. It's essential for survival. Without infrastructure, every individual is responsible for figuring out how to fulfill their basic needs, from collecting water to creating energy to constructing shelter. The transient nature of the community adds another challenge to survival. Located near the Salton Sea, Slab City attracts curious tourists who are drawn to the idea of living off the grid. Some residents manage to survive by offering a glimpse of their unconventional way of life in exchange for food or supplies, or by doing odd jobs for visitors. While there's no official currency, the economy of Slab City operates largely on barter. Trading goods and services forms the bedrock of daily existence. In the end, the notion of everything being free quickly proves illusory. Even without a formal economy, living in Slab City comes at a cost. The price is paid through hard work, creativity, and the strength of community bonds. For many residents, the true appeal of this desert refuge lies in the self-sufficiency it offers and the satisfaction of building a life from scratch. What does it mean to live in a place where everything is hand-built, where homes, resources, and survival systems are crafted with ingenuity? The resourcefulness displayed in every aspect of life is a testament to the resilience and determination of the people who choose to make Slab City their home. Here, freedom isn't just a concept. It's something you create and maintain by your own effort. Personal stories from Slab City. Slab City is more than just a lawless desert outpost. It's a community where the rules of society are rewritten. Located in California's desert, this place attracts those seeking freedom, escape, or a fresh start. Take Lily, for example. Once an artist in Los Angeles, Lily grew tired of creating art shaped by commercial interests. I got tired of making art that fit someone else's vision. Here, I paint whatever I want on any surface I can find, she says. In Slab City, Lily's art is her own. Vibrant murals painted on walls using discarded paint cans in the midst of the barren desert. Then there's Max, a tattooed anarchist who thrives in this lawless environment. The society out there is full of lies and control. Here, I live my way. No one can tell me otherwise. Max and his friends gather around campfires each night, talking about freedom and how they believe the world should be. Can a place like Slab City offer the freedom some people crave, or does living without rules create new problems that society tries to solve? For Sarah, Slab City represents an escape. I came here to get away from my abusive husband. No one knows where I am, and I want to keep it that way. Sarah's story is not unique. Many people come here to start fresh, to disappear, or to leave behind what they cannot forget. But is the freedom of anonymity worth the price it exacts? How does that affect a person's sense of belonging? Tom, a war veteran, also finds peace here. When I came back, no one understood me. Here, no one asks hard questions. We just live and let live. The solitude of the desert provides comfort, far from a world that never seemed to welcome him back. But how much of that peace is simply avoiding deeper emotional battles? Slab City is a place where hope and despair coexist. In one camp, you might hear laughter as street artists rehearse for the evening show. With no formal infrastructure, community support is vital. Residents depend on each other to survive. Mike, a mechanic, fixes vehicles for his neighbors in exchange for food or supplies. We trade everything from food and water to services. Money doesn't mean much here. Homes are built from recycled materials: wood, metal, plastic bottles. Creativity is essential for survival, and many find ways to make desert life more comfortable or even beautiful. However, while creativity and ingenuity are abundant, so are the risks. The lack of formal law means drugs and other social vices often find their way into the community. Alex, a former resident, warns, "You have to know what you're doing out here, or you can get caught up in things that will ruin you." Without oversight, the social dynamics of Slab City often teeter on the edge of chaos. The legacy and future of Slab City, a fragile sanctuary in the desert. As the world around Slab City continues to evolve, the question looms: what does the future hold for this free-spirited community in the California desert? Slab City has long been a refuge for those seeking to escape the constraints of modern society. People who desire to live outside the system, away from taxes, laws, and conventional norms. It's a place where independence and resilience are not just values, but survival tools. Yet, as time marches on, the challenges of life here are becoming harder to ignore. For many, Slab City represents the last vestige of American freedom, a sanctuary for those on society's margins: drifters, artists, outcasts, and rebels. As more people continue to make their way here, drawn by the promise of freedom from societal expectations, one question persists: can this rugged community survive the pressures of growth, regulation, and environmental change? The desert's harsh realities are no less unyielding as the years pass. The extreme heat, limited resources, and isolation challenge even the most seasoned residents. And while the population of Slab City continues to grow, so too does the awareness of its existence among outside authorities. With California's booming population and increasing urban sprawl, the possibility of Slab City being swallowed up by development or forced into compliance with new regulations grows ever more real. Could the city's lack of legal infrastructure and its status as a lawless zone be its undoing? Will the state or local authorities impose new laws to regulate what has long been a free-for-all? And if so, how would this impact the very foundation of what makes Slab City unique? The delicate balance between preserving the ideals of absolute freedom and ensuring a sustainable future becomes more pressing with each passing year. Can Slab City continue to be a haven for those who wish to live life on their own terms? Or will the realities of urban expansion and environmental decline overtake it? Will its residents be able to evolve with the changing world? Or is Slab City destined to remain an experiment in human ingenuity that can only survive in the short term? The future of Slab City remains uncertain, but as the community continues to grapple with its contradictions, the clash of freedom with the need for survival, the legacy of this desert sanctuary will undoubtedly continue to provoke deep questions about what it means to live outside the boundaries of conventional society. Is Slab City a timeless refuge, Or is it merely an oasis that will fade with the tides of change? Thank you for joining us on this journey to explore Slab City, a place of freedom filled with challenges and creativity. We hope this video has given you a deeper insight into the lives of those living on the fringes of society and the stories behind their absolute freedom. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss our next adventures with Eagle Discovery. Feel free to leave your thoughts and feedback in the comments below. Thank you for your support, and we'll see you in the next video.